Hey, hi. So welcome back to our chapter 17. So in last chapter what we saw that we were not able to call our register API, right? So before moving further, let me just show you my current state. So I was able to figure out that error. I gonna explain you what was the exact issue in that. So let me show you that I have already deployed my chain code, and let's do docker ps-a. All the container is up and running, including 3 chain codes. These are 3 because it's on 3 organization, and their all respective peers are also up: org2, org1, org3, and couchdb also are up with their ca order, ca org with the orderer. You can check that similar stuff in our docker containers as well, right? So I'm using my ubuntu WSL1 for setting up complete network and running it. Okay. Now let's go to the our main issue. The issue was right. So it was some issue in the script. So if you see register admin user, this is the one. What we are doing first, we are registering. First we are registering government admin, right? Org to admin, right? And then from org to admin, we are registering the user for that government authority. So that user, what we are calling it as government user Tom, we are calling, and then affiliation is there one, right? You can see affiliation I have given as org1 department 1, right? So this affiliation was not matching with the my service when I was creating it. So you can see that it is showing department 1. So if you go to the fabric, and here it was only department earlier, and that org is also fine. So this is org. As of now we are passing the dynamic org from our postman, like from API we're going to check you are belongs to which organization, and through that we're gonna pass. If the user is belong from org2, here org2 will come. If user is coming from org3, then org3 will come over here. Then this earlier in previous chapter there was department affiliation was only department, not department 1. So I have added as department 1. So this is something to make sure that you are, it's like again one level of validation to make sure that whoever is generating the credential for the user, they should have same department. If the department is not same, they cannot create a credential for that individual. So this is very useful functionality. So that's what I missed in the last one, but yeah, we got it covered over here. Now let's try to see the credentials. So I have, as of now, because I set it up network again. So I register my government admin, NGO, and then register admin user again. Let me do now clear. Now let's try to go to the API. Before going APIs, just we have to run our server. So how to run our server? Just look into the package.json. There is a dev. So we are using npm. So just simply we need to run npm run dev. Cool. So that's how we'll run our server. Now our node SDK is up. Once I'll get server running command. Yeah, it's up in running in 5000 port. Now let's go to the postman where I have my first API registered donor with I'm using the user cert as user government user Tom. So what I'm trying to say that I'll use this credential in from a wallet. So this credential must be there in wallet to call invoke the chain code. Now let's see, do I have that credential in my wallet? Yes, I can see government user Tom ID is there, so I can use this. So now let's go to this. I'll going to create a donor as Akshay MK. Akshay MK 123 is a donor ID, and then I'll give name as Akshay MK, and then I'll give email ID as akshay@retest.com. Alias is something Akshay. Okay. Now let's try to send it. Check the URL. Base URL is localhost 5000. Okay. API users donor sent. Now let's see. Now what it will do, it will going to first register the new user, then it gonna generate a credential, IPFS part, and then it going to upload that badge on IPFS and then invoke the transaction. Perfect. So that's why the delay was there. So now you can see I got a detailed log. So everything is looking good. I got the CID as well. correct? I hope you remember the flow. We are doing through three different steps in the same call. First, we are creating the credential. So let's go to the user here. If you check the wallet, now I can see Akshay MK123 as a new user got registered, right? New user got registered. Then we are creating a batch. So that's how our batch folder will come into the picture. But we are not storing any batch over here. We are removing that once it's uploaded on IPFS. So now if you want to check that batch, just we have to copy this and put it in our Chrome or any browser to check it. Now it's gonna load. See, now I got my batch over here where Akshay MK is my username, and then role donor message is yes, verified donor with the timestamp. That is what time is not correct. My local time is like 6:22, but this is the time we have to check. It might be the global one. We have to set with the local, right? And we got the QR code as well here. So this batch we get as now as a onboarded. This we're treating as a onboard batch. So this is like verified donor, simply like a registered one. Okay. Now let's try out with other APIs as well. Now we have the user. So let's try to register NGO as well. Donor, we got it. So let's try to register NGO. So to register NGO, we're gonna register NGO from NGO admin, right? So let's check the flow again. How the registration of let's close this one. Go to the Node SDK. Register user controller. When we say register donor, now we can close it. This is working fine. Get donor. Yeah, let's try get donor as well. So user cert and donor ID we need. Okay. So do we have donor ID? Yes, this is Akshay MK123's donor ID. Let's grab it. And let's see, get all donor is there. User cert I'm giving Rama or Tom. Tom is the one. So it's working fine. This is the government user, so they'll fetch all the registered donors. Let's see. Yeah, I got it. I'm getting the user data. Cool. I got the donor ID. So there is one more function to fetch the donor from. So just we'll duplicate this API. Okay. With the donor ID is also there one. So we'll rename it get donor by ID, and let's check the routing for this. What we are doing, we are passing two here, donor ID with the get only. So just check the routes as well. Do we have a proper route for that to fetch a donor? Go to the routes, user. Yeah, we have get donor. Simple. Okay, so simple instead of we have get donor, not all, all is in the above. So here instead of this, we're gonna pass donor ID. Push it to give MK123 is the donor ID. Now let's try to check that this API is working fine or not. Identity for govern. Okay. So yeah, of course. Here we need to pass the person who is going to invoke it. So now I can invoke this from my ID as well. So what is my ID name? Yeah. So actually I can use this user certificate itself to get his own data, right? So let's call it, yeah, amazing, right? So this is also working fine. So what we did, these are two different functions. This get all donor will be used by the admin to get all the donors on my ecosystem. Let's try to do, let's register one more donor called Akshay is there. Akshay we registered. Let's call Bob, right? Donor ID is Bob123. And then let's give here Bob. And then email also will do. Call as Bob only. Bob test. Send it. Again, it's gonna like little time because it's gonna generate a credential, uploading on IPFS, and then giving back you the response. So yeah, amazing. Just we have to keep this data handy properly, or again, at least we should remember the ID. If you remember donor ID, then all fine. Let's go to, and you can check the credential as well. So now main API we need to check is get all donors. Now if I take with the Tom, so Tom can check what all donors we have in the ecosystem. See, now I'm getting an array where I got Akshay as well as Bob. Okay. So if I send any specific donor ID, let's say if I pass here Bob123, and I use here Bob's credential only to fetch Bob data, that is possible. Amazing. So this is working completely fine. Now let's move to the another one. So where we are talking about register NGO. Now let's look up a logic for register NGO. For NGO, go to definition, and in register NGO you can see we are asking user cert, NGO ID, name, registration number, address, contract description, name, registration number, contract, address, description. Yeah, everything is here added. And here we are using NGO admin. You can see here it's in function only when we are calling our register user. At that time we are using NGO admin to call it. So when we are passing user cert, so which function we should pass? We are passing government only, because this is registration, right? Registration still happen from the government side. Or we can use here NGO user also, admin also, to register. So that clarification we can get it from the, okay, no, this user cert will be used to invoke credential. Yeah. So this could be same as let's check the readme file as well. So when we are calling register donor, we can say, so for NGO we say register NGO user with admin user role. Yeah. So NGO user can call that with the admin user role, right? So what we did exactly for admin, that we have to do for NGO. Now here we have created register NGO admin, right? This is the only registering the NGO admin. This is the overall NGO admin, right? So we need to create a one user which will act as a NGO admins with the user permission. This particular credential is with respect to my, what we can say, organization level. These admins are with respect to organization level. Admins will not directly going to invoke or interact with the chain code. The other users who created from the admin from that specific organization, they're gonna connect with their chain code, right? So for that we can check our chain code, what exactly logic we have written over here. User contract in register NGO, we can see we are trying to check the NGO admin. Required is NGO admin. Okay, so MSP org3 and then NGO admin as a role. So if you check similarly what we did for, yeah, let's go down, register admin user, where we are giving this role and value as user, government user, right? This government user we have given the value. Similarly, let's try to go, what is their role? So we have not defined role in the admins, right? We are not defining any roles and all those things. So what we need to do, we need to register, not this one. We need one more user with the NGO admin permissions. Okay, this is the admin certificate altogether, right? This is not a user. This is not a directly user who is going to interact with my chain code, because there is no attributes and no roles we have added over here, right? So what we need to do, we have to copy this register admin user, paste it over here, one more, and then we have to rename this as register NGO admin user. Okay, register NGO register. So here I'll give register NGO admin user. So when I say register admin user, so that will be, we can act as register government admin user. Okay, just let me rename it GOV admin user. Now this is admin NGO admin user. Now what we need to do, we need to go to this certificate, and wherever we are calling org2, we have to replace that with org3, because my NGO is org3. That's what I will do, replace. So all replaced, and wherever we have to change the name as well. So we are calling here government user Tom, right? So we'll give some another name here, something good. Control F. Instead of government user Tom, we'll give here NGO user, NGO user Don. Okay. Yeah, NGO user Don. Just replace all. Cool. It's Don, not donor. NGO user Don. Yeah. Now here we are asking C admin. Who is choosing admin for instead of government admin? Now again, we need to replace this as well. Wherever we are saying government admin, at that time we have to give NGO admin. Exactly. Instead of government admin, we'll give NGO admin, because we are creating this user based on NGO admin. NGO, remember that whatever credential you are giving here, this we have to pass here. NGO admin. Replace everywhere and then check for the roles and the organization. So here it is showing department. We have to give department 3. Okay, NGO user, Don, government, and role. Now here we need to give NGO admin. Role is my NGO admin because that's what I have defined in my smart contract. I need a role as NGO admin. So I can show you that again. Let me just go whole again. Up user contract. For registering user, you can say required MSP is this, and role, what I'm asking role as NGO admin. So we need role as NGO admin. We need a credential with someone who has a role as NGO admin. Those only can able to register the new NGO user. Okay, so that's anything else we required? No, I think role is the one, and MSP. MSP is already we are providing R3, and check for the MSP as well. So here, this is the MSP that what we are giving. So we have to explicitly pass as org3 as MSP. Now they're gonna check NGO user Don or NGO user Don, or what we can say that this we can call it as NGO admin user. That is the best thing we can call here. Instead of calling this, just replace this with NGO admin user. NGO admin user. Perfect. Now this particular NGO admin user is used to register new NGOs in the chain on our platform. Cool. Now we need to run this particular script. So let me just open a new terminal because my node server is already running there. I don't want to disturb that. Simply we can run node. And one more thing, whatever things we are doing here, this can be automated through API as well, right? But for simplicity, this is like one time task only. Creating NGO admin user is only one time task for one setup. For if you are starting one time network, this is only you have to run only one time. Register, sorry. Okay, let's first change our directly to Fabric samples, test network, node SDK. Oh, my bad. We don't need to go to Fabric samples. Just go to the node SDK. Clear. And then just need to register NGO admin user. Right? That is my NGO admin user that we're gonna register. Simply run. Yep, done. Now you can see, now I got NGO admin user. So using this NGO admin user, I can call the register this. Register NGO. Register NGO is going to call from the NGO admin user. This is for invoking my chain code. Okay. This will be used for invoking. So social health work NGO ID, that's what I'm given. Social health work 123, something like that. Let's give this. And social health work NGO. This is the details. Just let's try to call it. Send it. And again, similarly for onboarding NGO, at that time also we are creating the batch and then uploading that batch on IPFS and then invoking our chain code. So all this 3 steps is happening in this same API as well. Let's wait for the and hope for the best. But I got object here for CID. Let's see now what happened here. Let's go to the server. Oh, file uploaded successfully. I'm getting CID over here. I can see the CID URL, but there might be some coding error. Let's go and look into our controller. Controller. I have not passed that object properly. Generate batch. Register NGO is this function only. Correct. In return, I am getting okay. So I'm passing directly as CID, but I don't need to pass CID directly. From CID, we need to fetch the details of my generate batch. Inside that generate batch, directly we are calling it is, that is wrong. Let's refer our donor, what we are doing in register donor function, where we are talking at CID and then CID.IPFS link. Okay, IPFS link is something that we're gonna store. Register CID. Yeah, perfect. That's what we're gonna pass over here. Now it will work fine. But here my this entry is already registered. So even you can try with get all NGOs. So let's try to do call get all NGO function as well. So where we are calling get all NGO with again user adds. If we try with with government user also we can try. Let's see what we'll get. Yeah, identity for government user Rama is not there. We have a term for this. Government can fetch all the users. So yes, I got it. But here my data is not properly setted. It's shown. It's added as an object. To update this, to resolve this particular part, let's call it again because we resolved it. Now let's give some other name. We can give NGO MH27. NGO MH27 is the name with the ID, and let's give the name as NGO MH27, and then here we give test at the rate. This is their registration number, right? Contact we can keep same, address we can keep, the other things we can keep same. Okay, let's call it now, send it. Now hopefully this should work fine. Just that was the error in the CID part. Yeah. We can check parallelly logs as well in the Node SDK. Yes, things are happening perfectly. Now I got the CID, right? So if you copy this link and go to the your Chrome or any browser, just paste it. You will get the batch for that. So this will be seen now. Batch got updated here. You can see NGO MH27, the latest one, NGO verified. Even we got the batch stored for my earlier user as well, where just you have to go up little bit. And before my error, I got this right. So if you get this CID, copy, and then let's simply change this CID over here, paste it over here. So we'll get that social worker, yeah, social health work NGO. That's what we did, right? So this is verified NGO. So both the badge got created, and you can even call again that get all NGO. So we'll get this function API work properly. So see here I'm getting both the NGOs. All right, go up. I can see first one is Pune one, where the NGO ID is NGO MH27, and the again second one is NGO ID Social Health Work 123, right? So these all are admin functions. Now let's try to tap into our core functions. Let's quickly check with our bank as well. Registered bank. You can try out all the get API. I'll try to do test for the right API. So where we are trying to do batch part as well, where onboard bank. So let's do quick thing here. CID dot link IPFS link is there, right? Yeah, IPFS link. That's what we missed in our onboard bank. Cool. Now let's try to onboard bank with. Now, who has the right authority to onboard bank or register bank? The government, right? That we already know. So let's go to register bank. Let me just see if parallelly. Sometimes this system is working very slow because a lot of stuff is running at the same time. Now for bank, what we need a government user that we call as Tom, right? So yeah, SBI Pune 002 Mumbai. So that's what I have given SBI. Now let's try to register this particular bank. Just try to run. Again, this is gonna generate a batch and upload on IPFS and insert all this data on my Chaincode. So it's gonna take a little time. Perfect. Everything is working fine. I got the transaction complete, and even CID also we got. We can copy the CID, and then again if we paste it in some new tab, so we can see that so this is again a public and shareable one. This URL you can use anywhere, wherever you want. Sometimes it takes time to load, but yeah, this will work for sure. Once it started pinning for first time when you are using new documented, uploaded and pin, it will take little time. From second on onwards, it won't take much time. But this is taking little more than required time. Let me try over here. This is given timeout, but it worked here. You can see here SBI bank, role bank, verified bank. Perfect. So all the roles are working completely fine. So batches is generating as expected. Now let's try to do our core operations. So what are the core operations? We are done with our user controller. You can check the similar get all banks and all those things. That will work fine. If not works, check the other references API and this rectify it. If it's not work fine, hopefully it will work. Now let's try to perform. Let's as an NGO, we have to create a fund, right? So what are the routes we have there? Let's check a route. go to our routes, funds route, where we have post, create fund. Okay. Now let's go to the API, just go to the API and just duplicate this particular endpoint. Okay. Ah, I have already created one here for NGO. All the NGO functions we're gonna do over here. Uh, so there are some repetitive functions. I gonna remove that, or let it be. Just will add one by one. Now we need create fund. What is the endpoint for that? We have to check it from the index one, app.js. If you go app.js, okay, funds and tokens are not imported. Let's import that as well. Let's see if that is going something wrong. Let's check server is running fine or not. Let me grab some water. Yeah, it's working fine. Now, yeah, this is a funds route. So instead of user, we're gonna give funds API/user was the one what we did for register. Now here we're gonna use funds. Now instead of donor, if we have to go to the routes, funds route, here we can see /1. Slash in the sense nothing, just only funds. This is it. That's it. This we're gonna call it as create fund. Go to the body. And now we have to see what is the parameters we need to pass in body. Now go to create fund function. What exactly our expectation here? We are asking for user cert. User cert, the one who is going to call my create fund. Who can call my create fund? It's going to call by NGO user. So how many NGO users we have? Go to wallet. We can check that the wallet is who is my NGO user? Akshay is donor. Bob is donor. Yeah, social health work, right? This social health work guys are my NGO users. So just copy their name. So they want to create the fund. So I'll give their cert ID over here. Okay. And what else we need? We need fund ID. We don't need donor ID here. We need fund ID. We'll create here fund 01. So we'll give short form here, social health work fund 01. Then what else we need? Let's grab all these things, whatever we need over here, and let's put it over here, right? First, we need NGO ID. So this is the exact my NGO ID, right? The one what we used to pass as username, that is mostly NGO ID. If you don't know NGO ID, simply we can go up and then we can check all my NGOs from here. Here, I'll get exact NGO ID over here, this one, right? I can grab that and come back again in create fund. So that is the exact thing, my. Then I need the title, right? Title for that fund, what I need to show. So we can say my initial NGO setup fund, like we can say something like that. Then we can call it here purpose to set up NGO office, for example, right? And then fund target. We can say target is like amount. We can give something like that 1 lakh. Okay, fine. Now let's try to trigger this. So this is something the first time we're gonna call this API. So let's see if something goes wrong or right. So here nothing, no badge and all those things is happening. Just simply purely creating a fund. So what we got now? We got an error. No valid response from any peer. Error. Undefined reading stub. Undefined. Okay. So something got wrong. So let's go to our chain code. And from chain code, let's try to check what was the error we got here. We didn't got any error here. Let's try to chain code again. Can you see error? No, it not reached to the chain code yet, I think. So before only it got failed. So go back to our controller. Its controller is saying? Controller is saying no valid response from any peer error user. Okay. So does we created? No, we don't need to create new user now. We just need to use the user. Okay. First check the permissions. Who can create the fund? Let's check a smart contract logic. So create fund here, invoke transaction. Inside invoke transaction, what we are calling fund contract, fund ID, NGO, title, purpose, target fund, right? That's what already we are giving. And then after that, cannot read property of undefined reading stub. If we go inside invoke transaction, go to the function. Inside invoke transaction, it is saying user cert contract name and then user cert function contract. That what already we are calling it. Submit transaction. Go to the definition. That's acha. Let's go to the chain code logic. Fund contract is here. We have to create fund. Let's open up. Create fund. Okay, so when we are creating fund, so that's what we are asking them. Fund ID, NGO ID, title, purpose, and then fund target. Okay, that's already we are passing. And then we are checking first required. What is required MSP is org3 MSP and the user role is NGO user, right? That is very important. What we are asking for NGO user. But if we check the role of our user, what is the role of our user? Let's go and check. That's what we are calling here. Their type. What kind of role we are registering from that? This is auto register. So go to the service. When we are registering, so we have here register user, right? So we have register user here function. How you are registering? We are giving user role here at the end. So org ID, admin, user ID, and user role. So let's trace back in the user controller. When we go to the user controller, we registered the user, right? Get register NGO. Inside register NGO, there is some function we call it as register user. Yeah, we are calling it as NGO user only. We are giving the permission as NGO user. That's fine. Then cannot read property of undefined stub. I think there is something is missing inside chain code only, because this error is coming from the chain code. That is I'm for sure. So if fund is there, utility is there, fund contract only. So context we are getting, then stub. Stub means this. Contact.stub put state. At the time of put state, they got felt undefined. So context.put state. Fund ID, NGO, title, purpose. Here we should do some logging as well to make sure that to debug what exactly going wrong. For quick purpose, we can check how exactly we are doing in user contract. Register NGO, that's what we are doing. Like stub, put state, NGO key, buffer, NGO, right? Anything missing over here with respect to that? Oh, get timestamp, check that as well. Get timestamp, and are we using here? Get timestamp, yeah. Required MSP, go to the definition. Now let's do one quick sort of debugging over here. Go to the fund contract and we'll try to add here logs. We'll try to get there saying it is property cannot define reading stub. So I believe contact is not defined somewhere properly. Context or okay, if assets. Acha, yeah. Before that, I think this fund key, okay, asset exist is also one function. Let's check this as well. This is something we are checking for first time. Asset exist. Context.stub.getState ID. In fund contract, go back again. There should they calling two parameters, context and fund ID. Okay. Go to exist. If it is not there, less than data and okay. Now we do some sort of debugging over here. Now let's do console. Console.log, that what we gonna do is a check ID. We'll try to check ID and then okay. And then here come back to the fund contract. Here we again try to do some logging to check that where exactly we reach. To console.log, checking exists for fund ID, okay, and then we're gonna check that whole fund record as all together, okay, perfect. So this way we'll get to know that is thing working fine or not. I don't need fund ID, I need a complete fund only, not with ID. Yeah, maybe JSON stringified fund will. Now let's try to let's try to redeploy our chain code. We have did some changes, so that is also an important major functionality we need to add in our smart contract where we are redeploying our chain code, right? So I have already explained you how can we redeploy it without changing or breaking our chain code name. So this is also very important function. So let's go to the readme. If you can see here, now what we're gonna do, we're gonna keep our chain code name as same, but we'll give the new version and sequence. We'll give sequence as 2 and version as 2. Okay. Now let's copy it. Go back to our test network path, test network directory where we are doing test network stuff. Let's do here. Now, yeah, just try run it. So again, what it gonna do, it gonna create a new package and it gonna deploy it with the same name, but with the different sequence. So ideally, it gonna create a new containers altogether. So let's see. Wait for a few minutes. It will take some time. But in meantime, let's try to review our code as well. So if we can figure out the error, there must be something, or are we missing anything with respect to the parameters? Let's check that as well. Cert, user cert we are passing. Is it given user cert only? Create fund. Yeah. User cert, fund ID, NGO ID, title, purpose, target. Purpose, target. And okay. So, contract, yeah. If we check fund contract, create fund, existing, throw new error, fund ID already exists. Geo-kit timestamp. Let's wait for this to complete. With respect to me, it's looking good only. Fund ID, enjoyed title, purpose, target. Target, are we defined it in as string or number, something like that? I think, okay, let me do this way. Let me try to call this as number only. Okay. See, again, this is taking some time to apply. In meantime, let me just see if I can call this. It is installed on org1, org2 is installing. Yeah, no valid response from any peer, cannot read property of undefined. Reading stub -n, org3. Cannot read of property undefined. Okay, let's wait for our chain code to get applied. Meantime, we'll check the logs, like is it new containers got created or not. New container is not created yet. So last chain code is installed on peer 2, got it. Installing chain code on peer 3 is going on. Perfect. This is also almost done. Yeah, okay, just one last approval is remaining. Packaging the chain code. Yeah, maybe now we can see the chain code container. Yeah, packaging is happening. Commit. Yeah, chain code definition committed to the channel. Okay. Query committed, done. Perfect. Now, is the created new container or it just got updated? Now let's try to see. You can see the now. It got updated, container got updated, but they did not created the new one. See, just it is showing latest started is last started 31 second. Amazing one, right? So our upgrade is working fine. If we check any one of the log, it is showing the latest log now. Old log is not there. Okay, now let's try to do this call again, call the API. We got the error, but now we should see the logs as well. So now you can see here we got logs. Yeah, we got the fund ID SHW fund 01, checking existing fund. Okay, yeah, asset exist logic is also working fine. False. So still this our chain code got invoked. Then we got a type error, cannot read property of undefined. Reading stub. Okay, what does it means? It so we can fair to say that they are not able to read that stub. Okay, so if we say now the it's clear we got an error in chain code. That is for sure. So this stub is they are not reading properly. So creating fund, so did we, let's check do we have this log creating fund? No, before that only we got log. We didn't had that creating fund. So before this only, when it is going to checking existing fund ID, we got asset existing for fund ID false, we got, then we got error. Contract SPI chain code from contract.js. My channel, yeah, we got error in handler.js, API lib handler.js. Now let's quickly check the libraries, what libraries we are using here. Contract, okay. User contract, what we are using, contract, all these things. Fabric contract API, what we are using here, Fabric contract API. And because here also we are using Register NGO where we are calling this stub. Is this same functions we are saying stub stub dot put state, right? And if we go to the fun stub dot put state, similar thing we are doing, but still this is not working. It have thrown me error here itself. If we go inside asset exist, it has given me this thing. It has given me this thing. But when we return it, after returning 5 into this, at this point it is failing. Okay, let me check. What's the issue?